Alright everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to discuss a hip mobility routine. This was a very highly requested video. As you guys know, I am having some hip problems right now, so I just want to share with you guys a couple of things that seem to be helping me, that seem to be helping Kyle as he's having the same problem. So let's get right into it. Firstly, what we like to do is start off with just some basic foam rolling. If you are training, I wouldn't recommend doing any myofascial release where you're using a lacrosse ball or anything like that before you train, but using a foam roller before you train for about 5 to 10 minutes is totally okay, as the foam rollers are typically soft enough. So we start off with maybe about 5 to 10 minutes of foam rolling a specific area. A lot of that is our lower body, but we are experiencing some shoulder impingement as well, so we are throwing in some upper body foam rolling as well. Typically, when you're doing your foam rolling, you just want to roll on the area that is irritating you. I haven't done a whole lot of research as to which areas you don't want to be foam rolling. This definitely isn't my area of expertise, but based on what I have heard from other leading influencers is that you don't want to be foam rolling your lower back. If you have any other problem areas, I would definitely do a little bit more research to determine if it is safe to foam roll that area. So like I mentioned, we start off with maybe about 5 to 10 minutes here, and then we're going to get into our band routine. So exercise number 1, we have a lighter band. This red band here is very low resistance, and what we want to do for this one is we're working our abductors. So what we're doing for this exercise, I'm actually not 100% sure what it is called. Like I said, this isn't my area of expertise. It's just a bunch of exercises that we've been researching and that seem to be working for us. But what you're going to do is you're going to take a lower resistance band and you're going to tie it around your ankle, and you're going to bring your knee up to a 90-degree angle, and once you're at a strong position where your core is stable and your shoulders are straight, you're actually going to externally rotate your heel outwards. And as you can see here, Kyle is holding on to the side of his glute just for some support, but you should feel a stretch of that turned out leg in the top of your abductor. What you want to do when you do this exercise is we typically do about maybe 3 sets of 10 on each side, and as you bring your leg up and you're externally rotating it out, we hold it for maybe about 5 to 10 seconds. Bring your leg back down and then bring it back up to complete another rep. Biggest thing that you want to do with this one is make sure that you're completely straight up and down. You definitely don't want to have your torso turning as your leg is turning out. Make sure that your upper body is in a complete linear straight line, and same with your supporting leg. Alright, moving on to the next exercise. The next exercise, we have this purple band here. It is definitely a much higher resistance band. So what you're going to do is wrap this just underneath your glutes, just coming back into a lunge position where you have your one leg down and your other knee forward, and you want to actually lunge forward. But the biggest mistake that people do with this mobility exercise, and it's with or without the band, is they bring their chest too far forward versus focusing on sinking in their leg. So as you can see here, my back leg where the band is wrapped around, you want to actually focus on sinking your hip down, and that's where you will feel the stretch at most. In order to achieve this, you want to actually make sure that you're squeezing your glutes, and once you start feeling that stretch, which you should at this point, then you can start lunging your chest forward, but making sure you do keep it up. So a good variation for this movement is to actually, I like to call it like a roundabout versus just doing it straight in a linear position. We're gonna actually lunge all the way around 180 degrees. So as you can see here, as far as I can comfortably, make sure that you're not overextending, you're not overstretching where it feels completely uncomfortable. I am actually bringing my leg out to the side, and I'm turning my chest towards my knee and lunging forward, and focusing on making sure that I'm still sinking into that supporting leg and keeping that supporting leg straight. I don't want it to follow me as I'm bringing my front leg all the way around my body. So now, as you can see, I'm almost at 12 o'clock, and I'm holding these stretches as I go around my body for about 10 to 45 seconds, depending on my time and depending on how it feels. Some days I'm a little bit tighter than others, so I will just hold it until kind of the pain goes away. So this is where it gets a little bit tricky, is when you have to bring your leg over top of the band. It is a balancing act, so it's basically the same concept as what you were doing on the other side. So again, just hold it for as long as you feel necessary and make sure that you have enough support to safely pull yourself out of this position, because it can be a balancing act. So core engagement is also very, very huge for these stretches. Now we're gonna do this exercise the opposite way. So before, it was actually pulling our glutes forward, now it is pulling them back. So same type of thing. When you do the lunge forward, you wanna sink into that back hip and only lunge forward when you are feeling that stretch. So core engagement again is huge here. Only lunge forward as much as it feels comfortable so that you can actually feel that back stretch in that leg. All right, here is our fourth exercise. I should quickly mention that I didn't try that roundabout for that other variation with the band. I'm definitely gonna give that a try after editing this video now. Last one here, you can see that we are in a pigeon position. This is a very popular stretch in the yoga world when it comes to stretching out your hips. All we're doing for this one is taking the band and wrapping it around at the top of our hips and doing the pigeon position. So for this one, you do want to try to make sure that your shoulders are squared, because as you can see, the band does a really good job of pulling you the opposite direction. So engaging your core is very, very important. As you can see, Kyle is definitely doing this one a little bit better than I was. See how his shoulders are nice and square, his foot is out, and he's actually completely centered where he's not letting the band take over. So those are our 4 top band exercises that we do every single day. We've done this every single day for about 30 to 60 minutes at the gym, and 7 days a week for about 3 weeks now. So now, as you can see here, we're finishing off with some myofascial release. So we have a lacrosse ball, and what I do with the lacrosse ball is I literally put it on my hip bone and I just sit there and roll. I'll roll on it just to try and get some of the knots out of there. I literally, I'll do this at home too. I don't do it at the gym the whole time, but I'll do this for probably an hour a day, accumulated. Another thing you can do is actually roll on this on your lower back as well. You'll see that's what Kyle is doing here. He has a different type of lacrosse ball. I think he got this at Rocky Mountain Fitness where they're stuck together. You can make your own if you really want to, but I think that was maybe about $10 or so. But as you can see, he's having more lower back pain, whereas I'm having more hip pain, so he's actually gonna roll on it, do some myofascial release on his lower back. So this is typically what we will do at the end of our stretching session. If you are training still, make sure you are doing this at the end of your training sessions. And the last thing I just want to share with you guys is just something that I've picked up on the internet, which should technically help put your pelvis back into place. So I will do this maybe about 3 times where I hold it for 5 seconds. So as you can see, again, my hand here is pushing my knee away as that knee is trying to push against my hand. And I'm doing the opposite on the opposite side, where I'm trying to pull my knee away with my knee, but my hand is trying to pull it towards my chest. So going back and forth with that does seem to be helping quite a bit, actually. All right, you guys, so that is it. That is my hip mobility routine. It's not an exact science. Like I said, this is not my area of expertise. This is just something that seems to be helping Kyle and myself. It's something we've been dealing with for almost 2 months now, and it is slowly but surely getting better. So implement some of these if you find that you're having similar problems that we are having, and comment down below. Let me know if there's anything else that seems to be helping you that I may have not discussed here, or if you have given some of these a try and they do seem to be helping you as well. So make sure you guys like, you comment, and make sure you guys subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, you guys, and I will see you in the next one.